I'm planning to leave the UK next year. Not permanently, just for a few months to go Thailand and focus on building something outside of my job. Mainly this channel, YouTube, that's it. I'm 27 years old, I'm working as a dentist in London, earning around 100k a year. On paper, that sounds solid. Sounds like everything's nice. Stable career, good income, highly respected profession. But the more I think about it, the more I realize this isn't something I want to be doing for the rest of my life. Not because this career is bad, but because of how it's structured. Everything revolves around me showing up to work. The moment I don't show up, that's when I don't get paid. And this is how most people live their lives. Their income depends on them showing up to work. And this is something I've been thinking about recently, because it means no matter how much I earn, I'm still within the same system. Earning more just makes the system more comfortable. And once you start to see things that way, it's hard to ignore it, especially when you start thinking about taking time off work, moving elsewhere, and even considering a fresh start. Right now, none of that option really exists. Everything is built around my job, and that's where the whole idea came from. I'm not planning to quit everything all at once. It's just me stepping away and seeing what happens. Because right now, I'm trying to build this channel, and this happens around my job. You finish work, you're tired, you've got a few hours at best, and realistically speaking, you're not operating at your best. So I started thinking, what would happen if I actually removed that for a while? If I completely step away for a few months and solely focus on YouTube? And that's where Thailand comes in. And the reason I picked Thailand is honestly just because it makes sense. London is extremely expensive in every way. Rent alone takes a big chunk of your income. Then food, transport, random expenses. It all adds up very, very quickly. And before you know it, most of your money is already gone, especially in taxes. Whereas in Thailand, everything is just cheaper. Rent is cheap, food is cheap, and even day-to-day life is cheap. And that changes things a lot, because it means I don't need as much money to survive. And more importantly, I don't need as much pressure. Realistically, I could live there for around £1,000 a month. Not luxury, but very comfortably. A decent place, good food, a very simple routine. And that's enough. This isn't even about money. The environment and people matter a lot. The weather is better. You're not waking up to grey skies every day. Cold, rain, that constant low energy from people, and that really drains you. And it really affects you more than you actually think. Your mood, your motivation, your consistency, all of it. Over there, everyone is much more relaxed, more social, less stressed, and that kind of environment really makes it easier to stay consistent with something. And another reason I'm thinking about leaving is just how things feel right now in London. Crime rates have definitely gone through the roof. And it's not even about statistics, you just feel it day to day. You're more aware of your surroundings, thinking about your phone, your watch, what's around you, especially at night time. It's not that you can't live here, obviously you can, but you don't feel completely relaxed. And I think over time, that kind of low level stress just builds up. Whereas in Thailand, it feels completely different. You can walk around more freely at any time of the day and night, and not constantly worrying about your stuff. And for me, that's a big part of it as well. So Thailand isn't just about saving money, it's also about putting myself in a better environment to actually focus on building something. Somewhere I actually enjoy being while I'm doing this. Now when it comes to the actual numbers, this is where things get more real. If I'm spending around £1,000 a month, or let's say 3 to 6 months, which is how long I plan to step away from the UK for, that's £3 to 6,000 already. Then you've got flights, setting up costs when you arrive, basic things like accommodation, deposits, transports, that's probably another £1,000 to 2,000. And then there's the buffer, which is probably the most important part, because the last thing I want is to be out there trying to build something and stressing about money at the same time. That defeats the whole purpose. So you need extra just in case things don't go to your plan. And when you add everything up together, that's where the 10 to 15k comes from. That's how much I would need to step away from the UK for 3 to 6 months. It's not a random number, it's just enough to give this a proper chance without putting myself under pressure. And to be honest, part of the reason I'm even thinking about doing this is to avoid myself from burning out. Because working a full-time job and building something on the side, long term, just isn't sustainable. You've got limited time, limited energy, and everything just moves slower and you're constantly feeling drained. So the plan is pretty simple. Work in the UK, save as much as I can, then go to Thailand for a few months and focus on this YouTube channel properly. Not trying to balance both. No distractions, just actually giving this a real chance and seeing what happens. Because right now, I don't actually know if this will work. It might not, but I'd rather find out. than to just stay in the same routine forever. And the way I see it, this isn't even a massive risk because I'm not quitting everything. I'm not burning bridges. If it doesn't work, I come back to the UK, back to dentistry, and I carry on. But if it does work, even just a little bit, then that changes everything because even something small, like £1,000 a month, is already enough to live somewhere like in Thailand. And that creates options. It means I don't need to rely completely on my job anymore. It means I can start thinking differently about where I live, how I work, what I actually want to do long term. And that's what really this is about. It's about the geographical freedom and not being tied down to one physical location. I'm not quitting overnight, not chasing some unrealistic idea, just slowly building something that gives me more flexibility. So for now, this is the plan. Work, save, go to Thailand, and actually give this a proper shot. And then just see what happens.